Healthcare Ethics in Medical Law, Week 5, Discussion 1. My name is Keisha Barnes. Throughout this course, I've learned a plethora of information pertaining to healthcare ethics and medical law. Morality within healthcare covers a broad spectrum of various elements. A few discussed within my presentation are Stark Law, Informed Consent, Institutional Review Board, also known as IRB, and Resource Allocation. Named after U.S. Congressman Pete Stark, Stark Law regulates the implementation of self-referral by practicing physicians. As directly stated by DocSmarter.com in 2013, the Stark Law states that if a physician or a physician's immediate family member has a financial relationship with the DHS entity, that physician may not make a referral to the entity for furnishing of a Medicare or Medicaid reimbursable DHS, and the entity may not present or cause to be presented a Medicare or Medicaid bill or claim to either program or any individual third-party payer or other party for such referred or ordered services. The Stark Law also prohibits the entity from presenting or causing to be presented claims to Medicare or billing another individual, entity, or third-party payer for the referred services. As stated by author Dan Bastulos, informed consent consists of ethical as well as legal entities composed of both the respect for an individual's autonomy and healthcare's integrity values. Bastulos 2013. Adequate disclosure of information. On this form, the disclosure of information comes at onset by way of subjective standard. Decisional capacity of the patient. There must be a thorough understanding along with the capability and competency to process such legal documents. The patient's comprehension of information, a sub-step of the formal requirements. This is where the submitting party confirms complete understanding to solidify comprehension. Voluntariness. This is in place to make sure there has been no use of force in the decision-making process. Consent of the patient. This is by far the most important of the required group. It consists of the final representation of true and acknowledged consent in the form of a signature. According to MedMark 2014, an IRB is any board, committee, or group formally designated by an institution to review clinical trials involving human subjects. IRBs essentially act as the FDA's surrogate to oversee the protection of human subjects in clinical trials. The FDA has granted them the authority to approve, disapprove, or require modifications to clinical trial both prior to and during trial. According to the Engineering Ethics Department at University of Illinois, 2014, resource allocation can be viewed as the distribution of allocated items, including but not limited to time, credit, and responsibility. Within the healthcare realm, it can easily be converted into budget, space, services, certain services rendered or offered, all of which require compromising effort by divvying the resources presented. Having researched this topic throughout my scholastic tenure as a healthcare major, I find that the answer has changed for me over the years. When asked about the morality within healthcare, what I initially deemed as something that should be considered a given in this day and age, I find that it just isn't so. One would think that healthcare would be one of the last things up for debate, and is actually at the forefront of our nation's crisis. If asked to locate the morality within healthcare, my reply will return void. There is no real sense of morality when there is noticeable division amongst humankind, a clear form of segregation between the insured and those less fortunate to possess it. In other words, healthcare can be yours if the price is right. Although there is an underlying moral right to health care, there has yet to surface a law great enough to salvage it. That has been my presentation. Thank you for your time. My name is Keisha Barnes.